Marc, soy Santo Rangel. Bueno, una pregunta, tenemos el concepto de familia y a veces llegan personas que son contactados o de otra persona, otra línea o alguien por internet, se inscriben y con el concepto de familia piden apoyo y algunos, ¿hasta dónde es el apoyo si hay un sistema que se le da a una persona así de otra línea o externo?
So another line is contacting you to ask for help.
Sí, así es. Y cuando dicen quieren una llamada de 3, ven a mi Market Party y me ayudas a los problemas que tengo en mi oficina, a llenar el manual.
Yeah. Okay. So this comes up a lot, right? And so there's a fine line between the family culture and business, right? So you can't take all the three-way calls from somebody else's team, okay? And there's more than one reason. First of all, if you have 5 people from another team that all use you for a three-way call, your team eventually is not going to be able to use you for a three-way call, right? But there's a deeper reason too. When you do the three-way call, if the person joins the business, they're going to want to use you for the three-way call as well, right? So you have to be careful. Now, I encourage you, you should help everybody, as many people as you can. But if there's one particular person that always is using you for a three-way call, start to cut them off a little bit. So don't always take every single one of their calls, because all it is a natural thing that they may feel more comfortable with you than their upline, or maybe their upline is not available to them. They're not working with them like they should. So if you're always available, they're always going to call you. And maybe you've experienced this. Does their team call you as well? So you kind of become their upline, and it becomes very hard to manage, okay? My recommendation is to get 5 to 6 people that you can count on for three-way calls. Some, they might be in your upline, some are people that you meet at the Leadership Academy, but you don't want to be dependent on any one person, because eventually that person is not going to be available as much. That's kind of how I deal with that. And you're right on the money. You're saying the right thing. Direct them back to the system, right? Miriam University, the monthly regional, the weekly market party, because those systems are where a lot of the support comes from. Also, when they're going to the market party and they're going to the regional, they're gonna find other workout partners to help them. Okay, so that's kind of how I deal with it. It's a hard thing, because especially if you're a nice person, you're really trying to help someone, but you can only be so available to them, even on your own team. How many people, you guys are all leaders, how many people feel stuck because you have so many people that want your help, but you can't help everybody? How many people feel that way, that you get stuck, right? And so you have to pass down leadership, and you have to put people into a system, and other people have to be able to do three-way calls, because if you get really good at three-way calls, everybody wants to use you, and you're only one person, right? So it's okay to ask for other help and ask them, hey, I'm not always available. If you took 1 out of every 5 of their calls, they'll start to realize that, hey, you're not always going to be available to them. So hopefully that helps you.
Sí, o sea, la parte aquí es que a veces hablan algunas personas que tienen problemas con sus mismos líderes, o la persona no está, son de otra línea, son de otras personas, y se sienten solos o no sienten el apoyo. ¿Hasta dónde sabes que? No sé si estaré en lo correcto, pero les digo, aquí están las presentaciones, aquí están las capacitaciones, alguna llamada y que ya se dirijan a las capacitaciones generales para que sigan su camino. Pero sí se siente como que a veces hay mucha gente sola, y creo que a veces eso no es justo.
Yeah. No, I agree, but the challenge is well, several things. There's 2 sides to every story. So sometimes they just maybe don't get along with their upline. What I do is I try to find out who their upline is, and I try to figure out who else is in the upline that can help them. So that's a great way of helping someone. You know, they work with the executive director, but they say, hey, my executive director never takes my calls. So I never say anything bad about their executive director. I try to figure out, I can go to Alfonso, I can go to the brand partner staff, I can ask around, I can ask the person, hey, who's your upline national marketing director? Because as a national marketing director, if you have someone that's doing three-way calls all the time and they're putting you on the phone with prospects, there's very few national marketing directors in the room that are not gonna, if any, that are not gonna just beg to have that person, you know, to be able to work with. But it doesn't always happen that way. That NMD may have a huge team, so they may not know who that person is. And so you can maybe do a little bit of research to find out, hey, who's your upline? You know, hey, maybe I could let them know. Like sometimes people just, they don't even know, the upline doesn't even know who they are because they have a big team. And sometimes one introduction, now that person is working with somebody. So you kind of partner them up. So that can help. Yep.
A mí me gustaría pedirle a David si nos pudiera compartir cuáles son sus objetivos ahora, sus metas.